Hello students, this is the last video on module 4, which is quantum physics and lasers. A quick recap of what we learned in the last class. And in the last class we had discussed what are the conditions of laser action. The conditions of laser action is population inversion and metastable state. Let me remind you what is population inversion. Usually left to itself, going by the Boltzmann's law, the the population of ground state due to the minimum energy principle is far greater than the population of the excited states. That's why in order to create a stimulated emission which is required for laser, or for that matter or that matter any laser, you need to create a population inversion. Okay, population inversion is the first condition of laser action. Okay, next, how do you create it? You create it by a metastable state. What is a metastable state? There are two kinds of states. One is called the normal state, and one is called the metastable state. In the normal state, the excited atoms stay there for a very short time. In fact, very short means in 10 power minus 8 seconds they will come back. That's why you cannot achieve population inversion. So what do? You create states called metastable state. It is the second type of states where atoms can stay longer. Here E2 is a metastable state, so here it stays longer compared to the normal state. That is, and if you start populating the level on a metastable state, that is what creates a population inversion. Then requisites of laser action. I told you this is how it should look like. Active medium is where everything happens. Silvered mirrors and excitation source for pumping and all these things I told you. Last video we learnt about the semiconductor laser, in which the lasing happens here. Okay, gallium arsenide semiconductor, heavily doped with one type is degenerate p type, the other one is n type. When it is forward biased, this is what happens. In an unbiased condition, this will be the energy diagram. Then when you bias it with large voltages, there will be population inversion here which is happening, and then a stray photon can induce a stimulated emission. This is what I had told you. Now we will move into the next kind of laser, which is called as a carbon dioxide laser. What will be the setup? The setup will be like this. As usual, carbon dioxide laser, this is the laser cavity. This is what you can see. There is a power supply. You need a high power, so this should be supplied here. Completely silvered mirror on one side and partially silvered mirror, as I told you, because of reflection. There are Brewster's windows on either side. Why do you require it? Brewster's windows are required to produce a polarized beam of laser. Okay. So polarized beam of laser is produced using Brewster's window. That's why this is installed here, and everything else is as we showed in the requisites of laser action. This is how the physical setup of CO2 laser looks like. This is the active medium, and this is where the pumping and all happens. These two are the electrodes. Inside this, please remember, you have to take, even though it is CO2 laser, due to the technical reason which I am going to explain, you have to take CO2, that is carbon dioxide, nitrogen, helium gas in the ratio 1:2:3. That is what should be there in this laser cavity, and traces of water. So it should also contain traces of water vapor. Okay, for the reasons which I am going to explain just in a moment's time. Okay, this is the physical setup of the carbon dioxide laser. This is how physically the structure looks like. Now, before actually going into the operational part, let's look at something. Here we have taken CO2 and N2. What is CO2? CO2 is a triatomic molecule. N2 is a diatomic molecule. When you supply energy When you supply energy, please remember we are in quantum mechanics. Suppose that we have a molecule like this. C is sitting here, C is sitting here, this is O and this is O. It will not be bent like this, but CO2 is the molecule which might look like this. Okay, okay. Then if you supply energy to this, we are in quantum mechanics. In quantum mechanics, what is that we say? What is the first principle? The energy with which the energy with which it can either vibrate or it can either bend or stretch for anything. The energy is quantized. It cannot vibrate or it cannot stretch or it cannot bend in anything, any energy that is possible. The energy levels are quantized. It can either vibrate or rotate with this energy, or it can rotate with this energy, and nothing in between. This was the essential feature of quantum mechanics, right? So the energy levels are quantized. So we will take these two molecules, that is N2 and CO2 molecules, and see which are the possible energy states and which are the possible modes of activity in these two. Okay, that is what we shall do before we actually go into the operation. Okay, if you take carbon dioxide laser, it's a triatomic molecule, as I told. Okay, so this is a triatomic molecule, and this can when you supply energy, this can exhibit that energy in three modes, which is relevant to us. One is called the symmetric mode, or the symmetric stretching mode. The second one is called the asymmetric stretching mode, and third one is called the bending mode. And how do you define them? What is the symmetric stretch? Symmetric stretch is C is sitting in between. If both of the oxygen oxygen atoms, they pull in at the same time and they pull out at the same time. So they are symmetric about the carbon. If they come in at the same time, if they go out at the same time, this is called symmetric mode. This is what a carbon dioxide molecule can do, but at the expense of the energy. But remember, in quantum physics, it cannot just stretch at any energy. The energy levels are quantized. Okay, that is what is shown here. Usually, since there are three modes, each mode's ground state is given by 0, and the first excited state is given by 1, second excited state is given by 2. These are like this. Ground state is 0, 1, 2. It can have energy here, it can stretch here with this energy or this energy or this energy. This is the ground state. Since we have three such, we have we arrange them in triplets. For example, symmetric mode, in we can assign numbers A, we can actually assign numbers A, B, C, okay, in this triplets. So if A is 0, that means if this is called the symmetric stretch mode. This A is the number which is related to the symmetric stretch. Okay, this C is the number which is related to the asymmetric stretch. This B is now the number which is related to the bending mode. How do you define the first excited state of symmetric mode? These two, in the symmetric mode, asymmetric stretch and bend are 0. That's why the ground level is denoted by 0, 0, 0. The first excited state of the symmetric stretch is defined by 1, 0, 0. What about the second one? Second is defined by 2, 0, 0. Okay, this is regarding the symmetric stretch. Next, what about the asymmetric stretch? Asymmetric stretch has remember, C is the third number of the triplet is what represents the asymmetric stretch. The asymmetric stretch is given by the third number. So the first excited state should be 0, 0, the first excited state here, 1. What about this? This is 0, 1, 0, the first excited state. The main thing you must understand is it can exhibit its energy in these three modes, and these energy levels are quantized. The ground state is 0, 0, 0. And the first symmetric mode is in these three, the first represents this, the second represents this, and the third represents this. This is what you have to remember. And in the quantized scheme of things, this is called an energy level diagram. In the symmetric mode, it can be either in the in the ground state, or it could be in the first excited state or second excited state. What is asymmetric mode? Asymmetric mode is, here in the symmetric mode, it was pulling in, the oxygen atoms were pulling in and pulling out at the same time. Here one pulls in, the other goes out. The energy can be utilized for this also. This is called an asymmetric stretch mode. Since it is stretching, it is called a asymmetric stretch mode. Okay. This also, the levels are quantized. It can either have ground state, that is 0. It can be in the first excited state, which is given by 0, 0, 1. This is, it could be either in 0, 0, 0, or it could be in 1, 0, 0. Okay. Then the bending mode. What is the bending? Bending is these two things were stretching with reference to the carbon. Here what is happening is they are bending. Bending means when carbon is going up, these two oxygen atoms are coming down. So there is a bend like thing here. Once again, energy is required for this. This bending can happen. It can, if there is no bending, then it is called the ground state, 0, 0, 0. The first excited state is given by 0, 1, 0. The second excited state is 0, 2, 0. So all the symmetric stretch, asymmetric stretch, and bend are completely quantized. Okay. What about the nitrogen molecule? It's a diatomic molecule. It has, here it was stretch and bend. For a nitrogen molecule, there is a vibrational energy state. Right? It's a vibrational energy state, and it can either have a 0 state, or it can have a first vibrational energy state. Vibration is nothing but it goes, it vibrates about the mean position. It can have, once again, the energy of this is quantized. So all these things can be put in the same map. Okay. Why are we taking nitrogen? Because none of these states are metastable. Symmetric state, either the first excited state, second excited state, none of these states, either symmetric stretch or asymmetric stretch or bend, is metastable for CO2. But we need to remember, for condition of laser action is we need a metastable state. And that metastability is provided by the vibrational states of the N2, which is the nitrogen molecule. The first excited state of nitrogen molecule, vibrational state, is metastable. All these things can be put in one diagram, which is called a energy level diagram. And this is how it looks like. Remember this? Okay. Remember the essential feature of quantum physics, that things are quantized. Things are quantized in the sense that, remember what I told just now, that this is the energy level diagram of carbon dioxide, this is the energy level diagram of nitrogen. Nitrogen can, it has vibrational energy level, it can vibrate here, means no vibration, or minimal vibration here. Okay. It can go here. Nothing in between, it cannot have the energy in between, it is quantized completely. And why are we taking nitrogen and mixing with this carbon dioxide? Because the first vibrational energy level of nitrogen is metastable. Right? This is why we are going to take it. Then this is the ground state. This is the ground state of this. Now what happens is, this is the ground state. It has 3 modes. 1, 2, 3. This is what is symmetric stretch. This is bending. Remember, the middle number is bending, and this is asymmetric stretch. If you consider the ground state of all to be 0, 0, 0, this is 0, 0, 0. This is 0, 0, 0, and this is the first excited state. Nothing in between. It can either have a symmetric stretching energy here or here. It can this is bending energy can be either this or this. Okay, then finally the asymmetric stretch, it can have energy here and here. This is called the energy level diagram of the of this carbon dioxide laser, and this plays a very important role in this plays a very important role as far as the action of CO2 laser is concerned. Okay.